Well, my name's Alex Richter. I've been doing martial arts since I was 8 years old. I've always had a fascination with Bruce Lee since a very early age. At the age of 8, because my neighbor actually knocked out my tooth. He was kind of a bully, and he punched me right in the mouth and knocked out one of my teeth, and it made me really upset. So I asked my mom to take me to karate lessons so I could learn to defend myself. A year or two later, I was sick at home from school, and my father rented a video for me to watch at home while I was recuperating, and it was Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee. And I saw this movie, and from that moment on, I didn't want to do karate anymore. I wanted to do kung fu, and I wanted to be Bruce Lee. And at first my parents were a little bit resistant, but they knew that this is really what I wanted to do. And I couldn't be happier. I mean, I get to teach people what I love for a living. And so I never feel like I work a day in my life. Yeah, that's always a concern. Martial arts is not an easy way to make money. And certainly making money is not the real reason I got into this. I mean, I got into this because I love it. But the funny thing is when you teach well, when you teach with your heart, when you do something you really enjoy and you show that, people come and they enjoy it and they love it. And I've never had to, force students to stay in my school or whatever. Everybody's happy to be here, and it ends up that I can earn a living out of it. And when I look at some of my friends in high school who went on to get regular jobs, and then during the economic crisis in the late 2000s, they all had high-paying, secure jobs that they lost. And I still teach Kung Fu now for over 12 years. So I don't know, and I never felt that having a job or working for somebody else was any more secure than being able to work for myself. The biggest tragedy is to have a dream and not pursue it because you're afraid it's going to be hard. It's like, of course it's going to be hard, but it's so much more worth it. Think about 10, 15, 20 years from now, if you didn't pursue your dream, and then you've been stuck in a job or stuck doing something you don't like, and you're going to look back at all this time that's gone. And for me, I fear that so much more than saying, like, we're going to try this, and maybe we fail, but at least I tried it, And I think that not having that fear of failure, or at least when I do fail, to find a way to work around and still succeed, has made it all worthwhile. I have failed along the way. I mean, I have had months like in the very early years. Luckily, not for a very long time, but in the very early years where suddenly five, only have maybe 20 students, and then 5 of my students moved out of New York in 1 month, and it's like, oh, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, how am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to eat food? How am I going to do this stuff? And that is the point where you really test what somebody's made of. One other person might say, hey, teaching martial arts is too difficult, so I quit. And then they stop right there. And I just go, wow, that was really difficult. 1, how do I make sure that doesn't happen again? All right. And 2, how do I still survive regardless of that, problem, right? So you can either take a problem or a failure as a challenge, or you can take it as a sign that it's time to quit. And I never took it as a sign that it was time to quit, because, well, that's what we learn in martial arts. No matter how difficult it is, no matter how hard we have to train, we want that goal, we want to make it, and so we work hard to get it. So if we don't apply this lesson in our life, and we only apply it in martial arts, and that means we still really don't understand the martial art.
Just relax. And stare out the window, please.
Stare out the window, okay?
Yeah. Feel like you're thinking deep.
Thinking deep thoughts about the window.
Yeah.
You know why I'm laughing? Because I'm looking at that hibachi dumplings place, and I'm trying not to think deep thoughts about hibachi dumplings.